Welcome to the Foundry by Forge College. Today, in this explainer, we're going to put on our chief engineer hats. Our mission? We're building an absolutely beautiful, maybe slightly over-engineered greeting machine. You know, we're wrapping up our module on enhancing basic Solidity contracts right now, and we're finally taking all those raw theoretical parts we've been studying and assembling them into one cohesive, highly secure smart contract blueprint. It's kind of like taking the training wheels off and building a finely tuned engine completely from scratch. Okay, so here's our master plan for today. 1. Shifting gears to Ethereum. 2. The 4 smart contract pillars. 3. Designing the DAO greeting board. 4. Assembling the enhanced contract. And 5. Testing the machine's boundaries.
Section 1, Shifting Gears to Ethereum. Let's get right into it. So we are officially shifting gears. We're stepping away from the Solana security checklists that have probably been haunting your dreams lately, and we're dropping right back into our practical Solidity projects track. Specifically, we're revisiting our Hello World project for our Solidity and Ethereum quests. So we're moving from that purely theoretical security mindset on one chain directly into the physical, nuts and bolts assembly of an enhanced contract on another.
Moving on to Section 2. The 4 smart contract pillars.
Now, to really understand this, let's break our machine down into some highly specific functional components. Think of state variables as our machine's memory banks. They hold the absolute truth, like the actual text of a greeting. Then we have read functions. These are basically like viewing windows. You can look at the memory banks all you want, but you can't touch them, which means 0 side effects. Write functions? Those are the control levers. They actually change the state. And finally, we have modifiers and errors. These are the heavy-duty safety bumpers that make sure nobody pulls a lever they aren't supposed to.
Now, before we grab our orange ink and start drafting the actual code, we absolutely need to highlight one of my favorite engineering upgrades, the custom error. In modern Solidity, custom errors act as our machine's built-in alarm system. Instead of using those clunky text strings that just waste precious gas, custom errors explicitly tell us and our automated testing bots exactly why a transaction failed. It's a structured guardrail that keeps our state perfectly legal and incredibly efficient. A real game changer for sure.
All right, Section 3, Designing the DAO greeting board.
So imagine a digital on-chain greeting board for a DAO committee. Literally anyone in the world can walk up to this board and read the text. That's our viewing window, right? They can even press a button to record that they visited. But we obviously need tight security. We need our biometric security scanners, which are our access modifiers, to ensure that absolutely only the committee chair has the authority to actually change the main message on that board. Nobody else.
This brings us to Section 4, Assembling the enhanced contract.
So, grab your orange drafting pen because we're sketching this out step by step on our patent paper. As anyone who's taken courses at Forge College knows, great engineering requires a strict assembly line process. We can't just throw code at the wall and hope it sticks. We're going to move systematically. We'll start from the foundational headers and error definitions, wire up the state and events, install the security modifiers, and finally attach the interactive mutating functions. Let's build this thing. Okay, step 1. We start by laying down the chassis. We lock in a modern Solidity version, Pragma 0.819. ensuring we have built-in overflow checks and all the latest features. Immediately, we define our custom errors, unauthorized and invalid greeting. By defining these right up front, we make sure our contract will never just fail silently or waste gas on super long revert strings. The alarm system is hardwired in from line 1.
Next up, step 2, we wire up the memory banks. We declare the owner to store the deployer's address, the greeting string for our actual board, and a mapping called greetCount to track exactly how many times each unique user interacts with us. We also wire up events. Events are absolutely crucial here. They act like flashing indicator lights on our machine, so the outside world and our future test scripts can easily observe when the state actually changes.
And this right here brilliantly illustrates our centralized security scanner. By creating the onlyOwner modifier, we create a single unbreakable checkpoint. Instead of constantly copying and pasting the exact same "are you the owner" logic into every single write function, we just abstract it. We simply tag a function with onlyOwner, and the modifier wraps right around it, preventing malicious misuse efficiently and elegantly. It's so clean.
Finally, steps 3 and 4. We attach the levers. The constructor fires exactly once upon deployment, setting the initial owner and making sure the very first greeting isn't blank, because, well, starting in an invalid state is just bad engineering. Then we have set greeting.
heavily guarded by our onlyOwner modifier. And the greet function, which allows anyone to interact, increments their personal counter, and emits a visible event. And just like that, the machine is fully wired.
Section 5. Testing the machine's boundaries. Now, to ensure our newly built guardrails actually work, we're going to manually validate this contract. We'll start with the happy paths, reading the greeting without a transaction, and interacting as a regular user to watch our counter tick up. But then we put on our hacker hats. We will actively try to break it. We'll try to update the greeting from a completely random account just to verify that our unauthorized custom error explicitly kicks us out. We'll even try to submit a blank greeting to watch the invalid greeting revert step in and protect our memory banks. So let's move to our key takeaway and see how this builds our core philosophy as Web3 developers. Read this carefully on the screen. Treat state as the source of truth, make read paths simple and deterministic, and protect your write paths like an absolute fortress. By separating these responsibilities, using modifiers for authority and custom errors for input validation, you create smart contracts that are incredibly secure, super easy to reason about, and most importantly, easy to test.
We've built it, and we've done our manual checks. But listen, manual checks are really just the beginning. Here's the thought to leave you with. In Web3, a single line of bad code can literally cost millions. So, is your machine truly ready for the wild west of the blockchain? To learn how to write the automated unit tests that will push this exact artifact to its absolute limits in our next lesson, Foundations of Smart Contract Testing, please head over to forge.college. It is hands down the best place to continue your Web3 education, dive into more structured learning, and join an incredible community of builders. Thank you so much for joining me in the Forge College workshop today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.